Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Van Zorensen, and I just wanted to make this video to say that Army Men World at War is gonna take a little bit of a break. It'll be back, don't worry. And I thank you all so very much for the support. But I just feel like that I need to take a break from the series so that I can come back and, be refreshed. Work on other stuff, It's important that you need to take breaks every now and again. But anyway, enjoy the rest of this video. Thank you. Peace. Across the waters on the recently captured Green Island, the supreme commanders of both Blues and Tans have decided to meet. Tannenberg watches as a Tan ship sails by. The invasion of our homeland will continue until we finally do something about it. What can we do? Montgomery said. We are across an ocean. Sir, if I may, Blueston said, I believe it is time for us to initiate a naval invasion so that we can liberate the people of Greenland from their oppressive dictatorship of a leader. That would be quite the feat, Tambar said. I say it's worth a go. The Blues can now get formally into the combat. It would be quite risky, Montgomery said. What other choice do we have? Blueston continued. If we don't get involved and enforce the self-determination of green citizenry, no one else will. More and more, their government will be used to having Red Dosen as their allies. And I don't think any of us wants to see communism spread any further. I agree, Tannenberg said. We must ensure that our people can survive this. If you are intent on having a full-blown naval invasion, then we will initiate a full counteroffensive, which we call Desert Storm. Montgomery thought it over. The Oranges are being invaded too. And we can help them by getting onto the continent, Blueston said vehemently. Fine, Montgomery said. We'll make the preparations to begin naval operations at once. The Grain's Navy is not to be taken seriously, as we have full naval dominance. All we need to do is use it. How soon can the naval invasions be prepared? Tannenberg said. Oh, a few weeks. But we can do it as soon as we can. Good. The Tan Navy will be able to provide you support any way we can. Then let's get to it, gentlemen. We got a continent to liberate. And Blueston here will be in charge of the initial landing operations. Wait, what? In the ruins of the city of Greylight, the Kaiser is brought forth to Greymark. Aha. We have been expecting you, my friend. What do you think you're doing here? Greymark, you're a traitor, through and through. No, Carl replied. You are the traitor here. Enough of your grandstanding. I have no interest in listening to the likes of you. Why did you do that, High Priest? Carl replied. He's the traitor here, and he deserves the judgment of the great god Ghoul. Okay, fine. Now we need to defend this place while the coronation takes place. I just pray the men we have will be enough. A few days after the crowning ceremony, Greymark and Kaiser Karl was soon faced with the daunting task, as 8 officers of the other side of the Grey Union stood before them. What is the meaning of this? Greymark said. I wonder why are you all here? Hoping to gloat? Quite the opposite, in fact. One of the officers said. Many of us have met together once we have heard of the previous Kaiser's death, and we all decided, along with our men, We are tired of these red docents occupying our country as much as you are, and we've come here to join the Grey Union together once more. Carl thought about it first. It's only fair that all the Greys should unite as one. But he didn't trust them, especially with Greymark whispering in his ear. But his friend Johann said to him, "It's what is needed. The great god Ghoul will decide whether they are truthful or not." Carl nodded. "Greymark?" he asked. "We'll need all the help we can get. I don't like it very much, but they're right. In order to drive out our enemies, the Grey Union must be one people." "Very well," Johann said openly. "I am eager to welcome you all in with open arms. Under one condition. You must all prove yourself loyal to the nation that you fought so hard for. And you must also be prepared to fight for the nation we all must hope to rebuild one day." The officers looked at each other, but shouted in unison, "We will! We will fight with such ferocity that we will prove to be true-born Greys," said this head officer, who obviously was their spokesperson. "And we shall create a world where no one will live in division. Ever again!" The war was going on for much longer than anyone had anticipated. Romulus has commanded everyone to be prepared themselves for a long and protracted conflict. A fact nobody is happy about. Most of the people who are supposed to be working the farms of Greenland have gone off to war, only having them to return for harvesting of their own fields. The auto machines that were repurposed because of the higher casualty rates were helping, but they were more of a hindrance in some cases. Silently, many Greenlanders began to mutter whether or not their governments had led them in so far astray. "It just doesn't feel right," one of them said. "Our daughters stay behind, and our sons are sent off." "That's war," replied another, a veteran of the Great War. "Old men start wars, and young men fight and die in them. That's the way it's always been." "I know! Just wish there was something we can do to stop it." "Don't worry, gentlemen." A strange-colored officer approached the civilians. "I can help you win your sons back. All you have to do is follow me." Near the coast of Orangistan, the Light and his director were having a conversation. Well, the director was shouting at the Light. "Why has that counteroffensive failed?" "There was nothing to be done," an Orangistani officer replied. "I have tried everything within my power. I moved my infantry in to take advantage of the gaps the armor had created. But the red dosage deployed rocket artillery, and combined with their defensive lines, it was just too much. By the time we were able to fight to a standstill, their whole place was impregnable. However, we were able to completely neutralize the position. They won't be making any offensives from that place." "All things considered, old friend, it could have been worse," the Light responded. The director clenched his teeth. Then he exhaled silently. He knew that Ataturk was right. There was very little that they could have done. But now it just seems like that they're going to start a repeat of the first war. Trenches. Or at least defendable positions. "I know. It's just I don't want a repeat of the last war," the director said. "We were stuck in trenches forever." "Sometimes it cannot be helped," Ataturk said. "You seem a bit on edge recently. Are you all right?" The director hesitated. He knew better than to hide things from his old friend. But at the same time, it's been growing increasingly frustrating to work underneath his shadow. He wanted his own glory, his own rise to power. Still, he had to play the game. It's the same reason that I said earlier. I don't want a repeat of the last war. Ataturk nodded. Patience, my friend. Wars are not won within months. They can take years. And we Orangestanis have fought for many, many years. Still, what about our purple problem? Maybe you can take care of it for us? The director smiled. I'll see to it personally, old friend. Good then, Ataturk said. Then I call this meeting adjourned. That's all we can do now. We have done everything within our power to keep these war moving along. Now comes the real war. Waiting. In the capital of Redingrad, Jolin is having an important conversation with his generals. He is not happy about the way the war is going. While it is good, it could be better. But he's also frustrated about the fact that my generals insist on having a halt to the hostilities, Jolin angrily shouted. I will not tolerate having people simply whine out because the war is too hard for them. It's not that, Krukov said. The lines are becoming stagnant. Even though we managed to stop the Orangestani offensive, we need time to prepare counter-assaults. And unfortunately, there was not much time left for more offensives this year. Oh, really? And just why is that, Krukov? Sir, another advisor spoke up. It's not a matter of whether how hard or boldly we fight, but the Greys have united. And even though we have successfully secured the northern part of the country, the rest are only going to follow in behind the new Grey Kaiser. I concur, Romanov said. This is not the time for massive and sweeping offensives. Now is the time to dig in. It's happening all across the world. Even the Tans and the Greens are slowing down their major offensives, another advisor said. Let's face it, Comrade Jolin. There is very little we can do. All we can do now is wait. Jolin stood there in the meeting, fuming. He didn't like this. He didn't like it at all. But at the same time, he knew his generals were right. Krukov, in general, knew what he was doing. At first, he admitted that he was simply going to pretend to listen to his generals. But that pretension soon gave way to him actually listening to good advice. He secretly admired the fact that Krukov was able to disagree with him to his face. Still, he would purge him later. But he admitted that it was necessary. Fine, Jolin said. Tell the men that they should prepare themselves for attacks, but no major operations are prepared at this time. Tell them that it is an order from Comrade Jolin, the Supreme Commander of all Red Dosan forces. Probably best we do that, sir, Romanov said. He inhaled deeply with his nostrils. A big frost is coming tomorrow morning. And we all know when there is frost. Krukov nodded. Winter is coming, and we must prepare. Murtica was walking home when he was stopped by a tan car, and out popped 3 Orangestanis. Hello, Murtica, the director said. You have been a very hard-to-track person. Let's go for a talk, shall we? After punching him in the stomach and dragging him into a nearby house, the director was now face-to-face with Murtica. All right, what do you want? Murtica said. It's very simple, old friend. We both know that Violet Nam will not be able to advance any further into Orangestani territory. And we also know that you have signed an alliance with the Red Dawsons. I want you to break that alliance. I wish I could. But unfortunately, the Council has insisted that I don't give an inch to you. Not ever since you attacked us. We never did attack you, old boy, the director replied. As far as I was concerned, you almost kidnapped me. That wasn't us either. Then it seems like we are being played by the same side. Maybe the Red Dawsons. Seems like the scummy, filthy thing that they do. Mertica replied. But I can't do anything until the Council is taken care of. I have some agents in place, the director grinned. Just play your part, Mertica. The Council will be taken care of momentarily. And when the time is right, you will seize power and bring an end to your involvement in this war. When will that be? You'll know, the director said simply. Sorry for how roughly we've been treating you. But remember, Mertica, this conversation never took place. Do you understand? Yes, Mertica said reluctantly. Good. Just you'll be ready when the time comes. Near his private lake house resort, Giorno was talking to Antonio. Yes. It will appear as if the war is calming down a bit. Yes, it would appear to be, Antonio replied. But I don't think this is the end. I feel like this is just a pause. The war is going to resume proper. Did you hear what happened in the Grey Union? We got a new Kaiser now. You can trust Greymark will now renege on our promise. The new Kaiser we can deal with, Antonio said. It's just we need new ways, you know? We need to try something different. Well, the same, though. I think it's only fair that we start contributing to the battlefield in many ways. We tried that. With the purples. We'll need to find something else then. My friend, it's only fair that we should actively participate on all fronts, wherever possible. I agree, but maybe we shouldn't be too cautious. We should be very cautious. I don't think that the fronts are gonna move anytime soon. They'll wait until the winter is over, and then they will start attacking again. It's the only natural course of action. So, we wait till spring. Spring. And then the Yellow Confederacy will rise as a dominant hegemon in the world. In some bushes nearby, a disgruntled soldier by the name of Garibaldi had other ideas. You're going to continue this war, old friend, he said quietly to himself. Giorno is not fit to rule us. I'm going to assure that the Yellows come out on top, no matter who wins. And if you die, then I will simply take your place. For that is the true way of the Yellow Confederacy.